17th, I believe the lowest finish in the club's history, although very misleading statement. When I first heard that statement, I was like, so they've never come last, but it turns out it's just because there's been two teams added in the last 10 years. But so it was physically impossible to come 17th, but still an interesting stat, I guess. But arguably the biggest club in the country, Collingwood, down to 17th. Pilch, what did you think of the Magpies season, mate?
Yeah, not great. I think most people would have had them around that 9 to 12 mark coming in. They've ended up 17th. And quite frankly, I don't think there is much to get rowdy about for the fans. I think they're going to have to just cop a mini rebuild at the very least. But as we know, it's the Pies. They will bounce back sooner rather than later. But for now, I'm going to give them a 4 out of 10. And MVP between Crisp and Grundy, but I think I'm going to give the nod to Crisp. I think just more consistent and very underrated. Probably stiff not to be in the All-Australian top 40. And then most improved and young player, once again, same player, Isaac Quainer. I was struggling to find some improvements, some most improves for the Pies, not going to lie.
Yeah, no, I actually struggle for the young player with the Pies, but yeah, I'm probably going to go a bit harsher. I'm probably going to give it a 3 out of 10, and I'm going to include the the off season of last year in that consideration. The way they've absolutely butchered their premiership window and turned into a second last place team in such a short time. For me, it's a 3 out of 10, and the whole Buck saga was. There was just a lot of drama surrounding the Pies this year. Did they announce a new coach today, Rowie?
I think it was all but confirmed, or it was confirmed. I actually didn't look too much into it, but it was Craig McRae was obviously the name that they were talking about. But yeah, I'm not sure if it was 100% confirmed or not. But yeah, there was headlines about it today that it was going to be him. So I think it's all but confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah, can't lie. I've never heard of that bloke in my life, but
I'll be honest, neither have I.
Yeah, there's too many crazy.
Is he the Hawthorn assistant, Clarko's assistant, or is that Mitchell?
I think Mitchell's been the assistant, hasn't he? Because that's where all the sort of controversies have come from. But I'm actually not even 100% sure. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know Mitchell's I know Mitchell coaches the VFL team, but I'm pretty sure you can do that and be assistant coach. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've actually never heard of him. But yeah, my awards for Collingwood. My BNF. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, under the Clarkson coaching tree, that makes sense. My BNF's actually Taylor Adams. I don't think he played that many games, but he tore up my voting system when he did play, and he just pipped Grundy and Crisp, as Pilch mentioned, who both have very good years. My young player is going to go to Isaac Quaynor. I'll be honest, this was really I was really struggling here. I think he got 2 votes, and then most improved. It's a bit of a weird one because he's been good in the past, but just based on last year alone, and I'll give it to Jordan De Goey. Really came home with a bit of a wet sail in the last 2 months and was starting to play some decent footy again, which we haven't seen for quite a while. I know last year, he was suspended, injured, all that stuff, but yeah, good to see him playing some good footy again. Rowie, what did you think of the Pie season?
Yeah, I guess, high expectation or high-ish expectations at the start of the year all went to shit. But, they sort of found a slightly better game plan at the end of the year, and there were some promising signs. They got some good games into their young players. I think they had the most debutants out of all teams of the comp this year, so that was obviously promising for them. So BNF, I agree. I think it's got to go to Jack Crisp. Obviously, most consistent. Had to change his role this year and just play basically full-time mid. Obviously worked for them. He was obviously really solid. He's just been Mr. Consistent his whole career. Most improved, I also had to go in here as well. Just an absolutely rogue call. I'm going to say Jack Madgen. I don't know, if he played most games of the year, I think he played 18 games out of possible 22. So, he basically just doubled his career tally there. I think he just played a few lockdown roles in the back. So good on him, trying to find a career for that weird pill. Best young player, probably Isaac Quaynor. I mean, there's no one else really to go there. Just once again, just lockdown role, but slightly smaller. Obviously, good halfback, rebounding halfback as well. So yeah, good on him. I'm sure he's probably one of those safe players you can say will have a 200 to 300 game career because he was obviously going to be a gun and he's getting regular games already. But if you're considering everything, the downfall and then the slide uphill at the end, probably going to give it a 4 out of 10 for the Pies.
Yeah, tend to agree with all that. The Jack Madgen call definitely rogue, but the improved and young player was definitely tough for this one. All right.
It's a miracle! Oh, yeah! What about that one? Unbelievable! Balotelli, Aguero! Crowd cheers. Here's Siddle.